With the parliamentary logjam continuing for a second day today, the centre yielded to the opposition demands for a debate on the SIR exercise and electoral reforms as protests brought proceedings to a halt during the winter session. The decision was made following a meeting between the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla and the Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju. Both houses were adjourned and proceedings were marred by ruckus and sloganeering. The opposition MPs in the Rajya Sabha protested and staged a walkout after the centre refused to prioritize the discussion on the special intensive revision of the electoral rolls and pushed for a debate on the Vande Mataram. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju informed the Rajya Sabha that the union government is ready for a discussion on the SIR issue and the electoral reforms in Parliament, but asked opposition parties not to insist on setting a timeline. He appealed to the opposition parties to cooperate fully with the decision taken regarding the debate on the electoral reforms. After an all-party meeting followed by a business advisory committee chaired by the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, it was decided that the Lok Sabha will take up a debate on the electoral reforms on 9th of December. A discussion on 150 years of Vande Mataram will be taken up by the lower house on a day earlier, which is 8th of December, and it would be initiated by Prime Minister Modi. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has submitted its affidavit over the ongoing special intensive revision of electoral rolls, refuting allegations of mass deletion of genuine voters as highly exaggerated, speculative and politically motivated. Let's start off our conversation. Joining me on the show right now is Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst. Tehseen, should the opposition find itself to be content now that an announcement has been made that 9th December is going to be dedicated in the Parliament for discussion and debate on the SIR?
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Yes, the opposition should be content that finally the government has yielded and has agreed for a discussion on SIR. Even last time they said we'll have a discussion, but the government ran away from a discussion. The point is, as the late Sushma Swaraj used to say, the house belongs to the opposition, but running the house is the responsibility of the government. Will the government allow the house to run? That is the question that the opposition is asking and the government must answer.
All right. The start of the winter session, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about how he made allegations saying that the opposition uses the parliament sessions either for the preparation of the elections, attacking the government and scoring brownie points, or after the losses that they face during the elections, what they do, taking the parliament, making it a stage and lamenting the fact that they lost the elections and putting the blame on the government. What do you have to say to that?
The Honorable Prime Minister must realize that when his party was in the opposition, the late Arun Jaitley ji said that stalling Parliament is a legitimate means of democracy for the opposition. The late Sushma Swaraj said that it is the right of the opposition to not allow Parliament to function. She said this verbatim inside Parliament. They lost a complete winter session of Parliament for a fake 2G scam. Now, I am not saying that the same should happen now. But every time in the past, the government in those days, the UPA was ready for a discussion, be it on any issue that the opposition brought. This time, the government runs away from a discussion. Let me give you one example. A 50,000 rupee bundle was found below some member of Parliament's bench. They wasted an entire day of Parliament and suspended Parliament to investigate that. Running a Parliament per day costs crores of rupees. For a 50,000 bundle, you spent an entire day, wasted the entire day. The government does not want to speak in Parliament or discuss serious issues in Parliament. Even the bills, they just want to ram through bills. Just in the last winter session, I was seeing the data. The average time for the zero hour has been reduced to 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's what this government has done to opposition and to Parliament.
What credibility, according to you, the opposition has, and Congress in particular, after it went about blaming the Election Commission, calling it a subsidiary of the government of India in vote theft, the SIR survey, the SIR exercise that was organized, that was conducted, and then after having lost the elections in Bihar, it doubled down on the Election Commission. Do you think the opposition has a justified reason to come out and attack the Election Commission at this point?
let me put it this way. Leave the Congress aside for a minute. Every single opposition party, which is 60% representing 60% of the population of this country, believes that the Election Commission is not being transparent. Now let's answer a few questions. Number one, that this SI process that is currently underway. In the previous SI that took place in 2002, to collect the data, the Election Commission gave 165 days. It started in 2002 on 1st May, you recollect, and ended on 15th October, 165 days. Here they gave 42 days. After pressure, they extended it to 49 days. How many BLOs have committed suicide, have lost their lives? Shouldn't the opposition ask questions about them? There is pressure on them. In that SIR exercise, there was no collecting the 11 documents. Here you have to collect 11 documents. A simple question that the Election Commission needs to answer. West Bengal and Assam both have elections. In West Bengal, you're doing an SIR. Perfect. I accept it. In Assam, why are you doing an SR and not an SIR? Where you're not taking the 11 documents? In fact, in Assam, the NRC is done by the Supreme Court. So you should in fact take the documents and make sure that if there are any outsiders, they are removed from the country. There they are not doing it. They're doing it in West Bengal. These are what leads to suspicion. The Election Commission is duty bound to be transparent. One more question. These BLOs are going to, they must have come to your house also, if it's in UP, to check or to give these forms. Tell me, why can't they give the BLO's machine readable list? How can data get compromised with a machine readable list in the hands of the BLO? So these are questions that the Election Commission needs to legitimately answer. It can't be a bully. If it's a cricket match between two players, the umpire has to be neutral. The umpire can't be fighting with the other player.
Okay. Do you give the, admiration where it's true for the Election Commission, because there was not a single vote that was countermanded in the Bihar elections? No repolling happened, which is perhaps one of the few firsts that Bihar has seen during its electoral process, Lok Sabha or assembly elections.
I would give it due, but then let's ask the Election Commission. 10,000 rupees was given, which was not budgeted for. Is that moral? It may be legal. Is that moral? Few weeks before the election, you're saying that we are going to give 10,000 rupees to people. Can we do that? Is the Election Commission going to be a mute spectator? And then in the middle of the election, the second installment of that 10,000 rupees goes in a state where per capita income is so low. Anand Singh was accused of murdering his political opponent. He was arrested. Is this what the Election Commission should be doing? A JDU candidate in alliance with the BJP was accused of a murder in the middle of the election. So the Election Commission must look at it. Are we just going to allow 10,000 rupees to go into people's accounts for a scheme that is not budgeted, not announced, and you call it an ongoing scheme? So I think the Election Commission also has some answers to answer. Look, we as opposition are not against the Election Commission, at least I'm not. But I do believe they have to be transparent and answerable to us. You can't, every question we ask can't be that we will not answer you. You must answer us. We are stakeholders in India's democracy. 60% of the people are with us. And we are duty bound to ask their questions. We are not enemies of the Election Commission.
Fair enough. And therefore, a day has been dedicated 9th of December, where that discussion is going to take place, where the debate is going to take place in the Lok Sabha. Thank you very much, Tehseen, for joining me, speaking to me on Newsx. I'm also being joined right now by RP Singh, BJP spokesperson. RP Singh, let's hear it from you with regards to the ruckus that has erupted in the Parliament for the last 2 days, ever since the winter session started. Should the government have made a decision prior, on the very day that the Parliament sat in the winter session, to allocate a day? Because these uprisings, these protests, questions being raised by the opposition of SIR should legitimately be discussed on the floor of the House.
Well, everything should be discussed on the floor of the House. There is no issue in that. But there's a parliamentary procedure. There are parliamentary rules by which the Parliament is governed, and Parliament has to follow the chair has to follow those rules. That's as simple as it is. But as for Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla talking about the Parliament being stalled on fake 2G scam, he has forgotten that what did the court say at that time about the 2G scam, although later on the decision was something else. But fact is, it happened because of the court decisions. And whenever the Parliament was stalled by the then opposition, now the ruling party, Mr. Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj, it was only something which would have happened in the court, and then follow-up would happen in the Parliament, not raising up the issues which are not non-issues. And then Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla was talking about the Bihar election and how the Bihar election was conducted. And he's talking about moral. I mean, who's talking about moral? Who's talking about morality? and anything which is as per the rule has been followed. And if there is nothing which is there's anything which has violated the rule, they can go to the court and could have got it stalled. Well, they had all the options. They have gone to court for stalling the SIR initially. Remember, they went to the court to stall the SIR. Court refused to do that, and court has said that SIR is a legal procedure, legal activity, and so be it. And but he was telling about the 2002. There is almost quarter a decade between 2002 and 2025, and technology has changed. You don't need that much of time, and with today's technology, to that time mobile phone didn't have all the facilities which now mobile phones have, and the QR code facilities were not there. Now everything is there. So why to waste time? I mean, why to still live in the generation when people wouldn't have all that technology with them? Now technology is there, so let's take use and let's try to save the time, energy, and money all put together.
Okay.
And as for, give me a second, another second, please.
Yeah, do you think conversation has also sort of, drifted away? Because yesterday there was this BLO who had committed suicide. Questions were being raised about, very meager pays being given to the BLOs for working for about 13 to 14 hours. They were under massive mental stress, lack of funds. Could be attributed to the death of this man, to the why he, took his own life. Does this put the Election Commission in bad light? And therefore, when we talk about reforms, this is a key aspect that needs to be looked after as well.
Megha, already the Election Commission, I've been told that they have doubled the emoluments which used to be given to the BLOs. They have, and then the officers above BLOs also, their emoluments have been doubled. But again, it's a duty, it's a national duty. And then when the people like in the armed forces go and fight at the border, they don't say that what's the salary you are getting or we are under pressure. They fight because it's the national duty. Similarly, revising this electoral roll is a duty, which is duty for the nation. Because if the electoral rolls are not rectified and not proper, like example, in Bihar, more than 68 lakh voters were deleted, and then none of them came on road. I mean, otherwise, state like Bihar, even if you delete 68 votes, the people are on the road. But fact is that no one came on the road. It means that there are discrepancies in the electoral roll, and which has been ratified by the Election Commission. Also, 21 lakh voters were added also. But no one raised a single point. I mean, Gandhi Maidan was always empty for any protest of this sort. But fact is that SIR is being issues being created because they know they are going to lose elections, and they are targeting a particular vote bank by creating a noise on SIR, as they did in CA when they targeted Muslim voters. Now also they are saying that it's being targeted on non-BJP voters or particularly Muslim votes, which is wrong. And again, let's go by the data which is there in Bihar. How many Muslims voted deleted in Bihar? They have no data to confirm that also.
Okay.
And they say that another second. They say that is the voters of the ruling party which has been deleted. How do you identify that which is the ruling party or which is the opposition vote? I mean, I don't have any system to analyze that which way the voter is going to vote.
Okay, all right. RP Singh, thank you very much for joining me. Stay on for the rest of the discussion as well. I'm also being joined by Suleiman Mohammed Khan. He's a Congress spokesperson. Mr. Khan, thank you very much. And the first question, is the opposition and the Congress now satisfied? They are content that a date has been assigned to discuss and debate the electoral reform issue?
Yes, these are, look, Congress party from the very beginning when the parliament session, day before yesterday, or yesterday it began, Congress party at the outset said that we want discussion on the most pressing and urgent and important issues, including the SIR, the toxic air we are breathing here in Delhi, other issues in relation to what is happening on employment and other things. So the government was not yielding and government was not ready for discussion and debates. And it is not that we were pressurizing them and they got ready at the first instance. They have this mindset, they don't want any discussion and deliberation and debate in the parliament. Their record is, I think, the worst ever in the history of, in the parliamentary history of the country. And anyhow, they have now said that we are ready for the discussion. But to my information, I don't know when they have given the time, how much time they have given, for which issue they have given. I have no information yet. I am only through you, I am getting to know that a date or some time or date has been given.
Yes.
I only know this much, that government is ready for a discussion. But they have to be, Parliament is a place where all the issues which are important for the future and welfare of the country has to be debated and deliberated. These issues are debated, laws are debated. This is how the constitutional democracy works. Now, I don't know what is the problem with Mr. Narendra Modi or the BJP or their ministers or leaders. They don't want discussions. Prime Minister said that opposition, yesterday he said in the beginning, before the session, that opposition is doing drama. Now, discussion on SIR is a drama. 28 DLOs have died. Believe me, I am from UP. I went for my enumeration form submission. So much pressure. There's so much pressure on BLOs. Leave everything, deletion, etc. The BLOs are facing a very uphill task. They are in a such a pressure situation. You cannot believe they are not sleeping. They have so much of load. And such a small window of 30-40 days has been given to complete a humongous task. UP is a state with a population of 23 crore. It's not Bihar like 8 crore, 7.5 crore or 8 crore. UP has a population of 23 crore. Please try to understand. So to complete this task, you need a lot of time. The uploading of data by the BLOs on the computer is taking time. The portal is slow. There are many problems being faced. Therefore, BLOs are committing suicide.
What are the key questions that the opposition leaders are going to ask, and particularly the Congress, since you are the spokesperson of the party? Is it going to be about the vote theft? Is it going to be about revelation of the 6 lakh voters whose names were rusticated from the list under the SIR exercise during the Bihar elections, before the Bihar elections? Is it going to be about the working conditions and the mental stress that is faced by the booth level workers? What are your key agenda issues in this matter?
No, we are going to cover, as the principal opposition party, all issues which pertains to the welfare of the country, welfare of the people of the country. It will also include how BLOs are dying. It will also include illegal deletion, arbitrary deletion of the names. It will also ask that West Bengal and Assam are going to election together. You are conducting SIR in West Bengal, but you are not doing that in Assam. My question is, because you conducted an NRC in Assam, 19 lakh were found to be illegal immigrants, citizens, illegal people, whatever name you want to call it. Out of those 19 lakh, 12 lakh have found to be Hindus, 7 lakh Muslims or other religions. Therefore, you are not conducting that SIR in Assam. Is this the intention of the government? If this is not, conduct an SIR in Assam also. Why pick and choose? Okay. Why not equality? These will be the pressing issues before the government. And what have they done in Bihar after SIR during the election campaign? Our election commission has surrendered almost, when during the model code of conduct, they have transferred 10,000 rupees to 1.5 crore women of Bihar. Was it a fair election? This was free and fair election. My question is this: it was completely unfair. Okay. Vote theft, vote chori, vote dacoity is not only by deleting names. It also includes these things. It also includes unfairness on the part of election commission to become a puppet of the Bharatiya Janata Party government. Okay. These are the issues. And about the toxic air in Delhi.
Okay.
Can you bring the toxic air?
Our future is getting you made your point. I'm quickly going to get Joyita Basu also into the conversation. Joyita, let's hear it from you with regards to, you've heard from both sides. You've heard from the BJP, you've heard from the Congress. Now, talking about, the decorum that needs to be maintained in the parliament, the important issues for which crores are spent for the sessions to take place, such as the winter session, when they get cancelled, when there is ruckus, when there are protests, proceedings are not allowed to happen. How can we ensure that there is sensible, intelligent discourse that happens for the development and welfare of the nation?
Well, Megha, it is every right of the opposition to ask for a debate and discussion on the pressing issues of the day. And that is what is been asked for, and the government has agreed to do it. And in fact, if you are asking in terms of, I don't see any reason why there should be any controversy beyond that, why the ruckus should continue. If you are asking for a discussion, the discussion should be the discussion, and the debate should be allowed to take place in peace and in the spirit of how a democracy, a parliament is supposed to function. So you see, I'm certain, you see, that whatever the opposition is saying, they also have their points, and the ruling side also has their points. And the fact of the matter is that if you're asking in terms of whether the necessity of the SAR or not, it is absolutely essential. And you see, I don't remember this kind of a ruckus being created over the process of SAR when it was last conducted, 2002, 2003. You see, the whole point of the matter is that, you see, you should, I mean, every issue that is made, that is needed to streamline the electoral rolls, to make any process smooth. You see, I mean, how is it should not be objected to? How is it democracy when certain, we know it is happening, Megha, we know, and we also know in which states it's happening. Thing is that when the voter electoral rolls, the voter list is flooded with fake voters, okay, with who have been given fake papers, who do not have the, who are not citizens of the country. You see, how is it democracy when these people are allowed to alter an electoral verdict? So the whole point is that it has to be rooted out. You know,
Okay.
I mean, I myself have been part of the process, in the sense that it's a very easy, the filling the form is extremely easy. If your name is there in the 2002 list, you don't have to worry about anything. If your name is not there, you provide your father's number, you provide your, you know, automatically your grandfather's name will come in, and in 2 minutes this form is filled. So I do not understand. And you see, I'm eternally grateful, I would say. The people of this country should be eternally grateful to the BLOs who are doing their job by going door to door. But at least, and they are really working hard. But you see, too,
Okay.
if this is actually causing suicide or not, or are there other problems, that needs to be, you know, found out.
Okay.
While it should be.
Yeah, also, you know, when the Prime Minister before the session made a speech in Parliament, and he spoke about how the opposition parties should not hold hostage the Parliament floor simply to vent out their frustration and take part in theatrics, and that causes disruption which should be avoidable. But the opposition obviously is not agreeing to that. They are speaking about how there has been vote theft in the past elections, how the Election Commission seems to be accused Election Commission of colluding with the government. But the case also is sub judice. The Supreme Court is also hearing the case in the court. Now, given the circumstances where there is so much that has happened, where do you think this discourse is going to lead to?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, okay, where this, you see, I will tell you something. If instead of finding actual issues, and there are lots of issues, even for that matter, the SIR is also an issue. Instead of just focusing on these issues, if the opposition keeps on insisting on this, you know, vote chori, on how Election Commission is depriving us of this and our rights and all, then you see no purpose is being served. Because what the opposition is doing, they're preaching to the converted. All right. Now, the idea is that you should be able to take your message to the opponent's camp. You should be able to take your message to those who are independents. But if you go talking to people, you know, except for their hardcore supporters, no one believes in the fact that, election commission is going around stealing election for the ruling party, primarily because the ruling party, the ruling side is proving to be far better strategist. When you're looking at Bihar, Megha, all of us knew. I mean, we in Sunday Guardian had started coming out with publishing articles at least 3 weeks before the Bihar results had come out, that Mahagathbandhan of RJD and Congress, they were losing it. That there was no one in that on that side except for Tejashwi Yadav, who could get some votes. They were losing it on the ground very badly. And the thing is, you see, the whole momentum had changed. I mean, when you have got friendly fights going on in so many seats, what do you expect? What kind of a message are you giving to the voter? You think voters are fools that you go to them now and say, look at us, we were winning that election, election commission stole that election from us. Nobody is believing them. And the more they harp on these things, election commission has taken our right to we were forced to face defeat. No one believes them and they come across as non-serious.
Okay.
You see,
All
this
right.
is something opposition does not understand.
Okay. All right. I thank all of you for joining me, sharing your views on this very important subject, of course, that has become the center of debate around the winter session of the Parliament. We'll keep a close eye on all those developments relating to this story. Stay tuned on Newsx. On that note, let's also quickly take a look at this breaking development. An explosion has been reported at the NUML University in Islamabad. We are learning that there were 4 individuals that were injured. Preliminary reports suggest that the explosion at the National University of Modern Languages was caused due to a gas leak. Ajay is on the telecast with me. Ajay, what more information do you have? Are the students in the campus safe? What exactly happened? How did it happen?
Megha, yes, there is a explosion in the NUML University in Islamabad, and right after this explosion, there was a panic among the students because it happened in the daylight, and students were inside the university campus. Immediately, the rescue team, they rushed to the spot, and about 5 students also were injured. They have been shifted to the hospital. Out of 5, 2 to 3 are very grievously injured. Initial report says that there are possibilities that it could be a gas cylinder blast or something, but we know the condition of Pakistan. There are possibility of the explosion as well. Investigation agencies are investigating this matter, but definitely after this explosion, there is injuries to 5 students, and definitely investigation is going on.
All right. Thank you, Ajay, for giving us those details. On that note, I slip into a short break. Thanks for watching.